What if one simple post was enough to make ARMY stop scrolling and ask one enormous question? Wait, what exactly is happening with Jikook and Google Gemini? Because that is precisely what caught attention this time. A post suddenly appeared featuring the words, Jikook x Google Gemini, accompanied by hashtags connected to Jikook, Jungkook, minKook, and BTS x Google Gemini. At first glance, it may look like just another fan post appearing in the endless stream of social media content. But then people started noticing the combination of names: Jimin, Jungkook, Jikook, and Google Gemini, for words that, when placed together, immediately create a completely different level of curiosity. Is this an official collaboration? Is something new happening behind the scenes? Could this be connected to AI-generated content? Or is ARMY simply witnessing another example of how fans are using new technology to celebrate two of BTS's most beloved members? Before we jump to conclusions, there is something extremely important that we need to understand. The screenshot itself shows the phrase, Jikook x Google Gemini, but that alone does not prove that Google has officially announced a collaboration with Jimin and Jungkook. And that distinction matters. Because when something involving BTS begins trending, excitement can move much faster than verification. A single screenshot can be reposted thousands of times. One fan can ask a question, another person can interpret it as a possibility, and suddenly the possibility can begin to look like confirmed news. So today we are going to slow everything down. We are going to look at what is actually visible, why ARMY became curious, what the Google Gemini connection could mean in the context of fan-created content, and why the names Jimin and Jungkook continue to generate such enormous attention whenever they appear together. And stay with me until the end, because there is one important detail about this post that could completely change the way you look at the situation. Let's begin with what we can actually see. In the screenshot circulating online, an account identified as Focusin.Jikook appears with a post containing the phrase Jikook x Google Gemini, followed by several hashtags. Among them are Jikook, Jungkook, minKook, and BTS x Google Gemini. For longtime ARMY, the first part is immediately recognizable. Jikook is a fan-used term associated with Jimin and Jungkook. The other variations are also used within different parts of the fandom when discussing the two members. But then there is something different: Google Gemini. And suddenly, the post becomes much more intriguing. Why would an account focused on Jikook place Google Gemini next to their name? That is where the curiosity begins. Could it simply be a fan using AI technology to create something involving Jimin and Jungkook? Could it be a creative experiment? Could it be related to an AI-generated image, a fan concept, or an interaction with Google's AI platform? Or could there be a larger context behind the post that is not visible in the screenshot? At this point, we cannot confidently claim which explanation is correct based only on the image. And that is exactly why this story deserves a closer look. Because there is a fascinating difference between what we see and what we assume. What we see is a post. What we can confirm from the screenshot is the wording. That may sound like a small distinction, but in the world of entertainment news, it is a very important one. For fans, however, the emotional reaction is completely understandable. Jimin and Jungkook have been part of BTS's journey together for years. They have shared stages, rehearsals, travels, performances, interviews, laughter, challenges, and countless memories as members of the same group. For millions of fans around the world, watching these two names appear together naturally creates an emotional response. And when something unexpected is added to that combination, curiosity becomes almost unavoidable. This time, that unexpected element is artificial intelligence. Google Gemini represents a very different world from traditional entertainment fandom. AI technology is changing how people search for information, create content, brainstorm ideas, analyze material, and interact with digital tools. And now, fandom communities are becoming part of that transformation too. Fans are experimenting with AI. They are creating concepts, They are discussing possibilities. They are exploring new ways of expressing their appreciation for artists. And BTS, as one of the world's most influential music groups, naturally exists within this rapidly changing digital environment. So when a post combines Jikook with Google Gemini, it may tell us something interesting about the evolution of fandom itself. Fans are no longer simply consuming content. They are increasingly interacting with technology to reinterpret, organize, discuss, and create around the content they love. That is a major cultural shift, and it is happening in real time. But there is another reason why this particular post gained attention. It is the curiosity gap. Think about it. If the post had simply said Jikook, there would be nothing particularly mysterious about it. If it had simply mentioned Google Gemini, that would also be understandable. But when the two appear together, the brain immediately wants an explanation. Why? Humans naturally look for connections. When two familiar things appear side by side unexpectedly, we instinctively ask what links them. That is exactly what appears to be happening here. Army sees Jikook, then sees Google Gemini, and immediately asks, what is the connection? That question is more powerful than the answer itself. Because once the question exists, people start searching. They start reading comments. They start sharing screenshots. They start discussing possibilities. And suddenly, a simple post becomes a conversation. This is how modern fandom works. It is not only about official announcements anymore. It is also about collective observation. Fans notice tiny details that others may overlook. They recognize patterns. They compare posts. They discuss terminology. And sometimes they turn a seemingly ordinary moment into a much larger conversation. But this also comes with responsibility. When information moves this quickly, speculation can easily become confused with fact. And that is particularly important when the names of global companies and global artists appear together. Seeing the phrase Jikook x Google Gemini does not automatically mean that Jimin and Jungkook personally participated in a Google Gemini project. It does not automatically mean that a new BTS campaign has been announced. And it does not automatically mean that every hashtag attached to the post represents an official partnership. What it does mean is that someone created a post connecting those terms. And that alone is enough to make people curious. Now let's take a step back and think about why Jimin's name remains so powerful in these conversations. Jimin has developed an extraordinary relationship with the global BTS fan community. His performances, personality, fashion, dance, vocals, and small moments have repeatedly generated enormous discussion among fans around the world. Even the smallest detail can sometimes become a topic of conversation. And when Jimin's name appears alongside Jungkook's, the attention can become even stronger because fans have watched both artists grow together within BTS. But we need to be careful here. The existence of a strong fan interest in Jimin and Jungkook does not mean we should invent private meanings or make claims about their personal relationship. What we can discuss is their professional history as BTS members and the fact that their names frequently attract fan attention when they appear together. That is enough to explain why a post like this can become interesting. For longtime ARMY, Jimin and Jungkook are not simply two names on a screen. They represent years of music, memories, performances, and moments that fans have experienced alongside BTS. Some fans discovered BTS when they were younger. Others became fans much later. And for many mature and longtime fans, following BTS has become connected to different chapters of their own lives. That is why even a small digital moment can sometimes feel surprisingly emotional. It reminds fans of how far these artists have come. And it reminds them that technology, fandom, and music are constantly changing. Years ago, fans could never have imagined that artificial intelligence would become such a major part of everyday digital culture. Today, AI tools are everywhere. People ask questions. They create images. They generate ideas. They translate information. They analyze content. They experiment with new forms of creativity. And naturally, BTS fans are exploring these tools too. So perhaps the most interesting part of the Jikook x Google Gemini conversation is not necessarily whether there is a hidden official announcement. Perhaps the deeper story is how fandom itself is evolving. Imagine being an ARMY years ago, waiting for a magazine article or television appearance to see your favorite artists. The speed is completely different. A moment can happen in one country and be discussed around the world within minutes. That is the environment in which this screenshot appeared. And that is why context matters more than ever. Because the faster information travels, the easier it becomes to lose the original meaning. Someone sees a post. Someone reposts it. Another person adds a caption. Someone else interprets that caption. Then another account reports the interpretation. And before long, people may be discussing something that was never actually confirmed in the first place. This is not unique to BTS. It happens across entertainment, sports, fashion, and celebrity culture. But because BTS has such a massive global fandom, the effect can be amplified dramatically. A single phrase can become a search trend. A single image can inspire thousands of reactions. And a single question can generate hours of discussion. That is exactly why we should approach this moment with both excitement and caution. We can enjoy the mystery without turning it into a fact. We can appreciate the creativity without assuming an official partnership. And we can talk about Jimin and Jungkook without inventing information about their private lives. That balance is important. Because ultimately, the most beautiful part of being a fan is not knowing every answer immediately. Sometimes, it is simply enjoying the journey of discovering what comes next. And right now, one question remains at the center of the conversation. Why did Jikook x Google Gemini suddenly appear? Could it be nothing more than a fan-created concept? Could it be connected to AI-generated content? Could it simply be an experiment by a fan account? Or is there additional context that we have not yet seen? The screenshot alone does not give us enough evidence to answer those questions definitively. But it does give us something else. A fascinating glimpse into how quickly BTS, fandom culture, and artificial intelligence can collide in today's digital world. And perhaps that is why this moment feels bigger than it initially appears. Because behind those simple words are three enormous forces. A global music phenomenon, a passionate international fandom, and rapidly evolving artificial intelligence. Put them together, and you have the perfect environment for curiosity. And once curiosity begins, the internet does what it does best. It starts asking questions. What did you think? Did you immediately assume there was an official collaboration? Did you think it was fan-made? Or did you simply become curious and want to know the real story? Tell us in the comments. Because your interpretation may be completely different from another ARMY's interpretation. And that is what makes global fandom communities so fascinating. But don't leave yet.